Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my labor and delivery story. Now this video is coming a month late because my son just turned 1 month old on Tuesday of this last week. He was born on January 27th, 2018 at 3:32 a.m. He weighed 8 pounds on the dot and he measured 20 inches long. He came on, technically he came 3 hours after his due date. His due date was on January 28th. No, his due date was January 26th. And on January 26th at 9 p.m., I was getting very intense contractions. So I monitored those contractions for 2 to 4 hours. And I wish I had saved it on an app because I had it on an app that I was monitoring my contractions, like how long they were going, how severe they were. So my doctor told me to follow the 4-1-1 rule, which is, what was it? Every 4 minutes, lasting a minute for 1 hour. Something along those lines. Anyways. So it never did that. My contractions were never in any way a pattern. They were never consistent. They sometimes were a minute apart, sometimes 5 minutes apart. I had a couple that were 25 minutes apart. So I was in excruciating pain, but because my doctor had said that, I didn't do anything. I was talking to Corinne, texting her because she was the one that if I had gone into labor through the night, she was the one to come to my house to watch Lauren while Sam and I went to the hospital. So we were texting and the contractions got so bad by 2 o'clock in the morning, I was in excruciating pain. I was crying. Lauren was sleeping. I'm surprised she did not wake up. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And I mean, it was painful. Now with Lauren, quick little backstory, my water broke and they induced me. And so I really never felt and then immediately I had an epidural, almost immediately, like however soon they give it to you. So I never really felt like a real contraction, I don't think, with Lauren. So I was kind of just having these intense contractions and then all of a sudden they started getting longer, further apart. So I thought, okay, but they got more intense. So I was actually texting Corinne. It was now 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank God for Corinne. She was one that said, call the hospital and just see what they have to say. Tell them the story. Tell them how it's been progressing. So I told them, and I guess they were slow that night, thankfully. And I think if they had been a little bit busier, she said she would have told me to stay home. She did tell me to come on in just based off of the excruciating pain that I was in. Long story short, it was a lot of pain. Corinne and Sierra got to my house just after 2:30 and I got everything ready. I packed everything and I kind of moved slow, was having contractions further apart now. So I was kind of getting worried that I was just going to go there for no reason. And we get there at 10 to 3 maybe, and maybe not even 10 to 3. It was like maybe 5 minutes till 3 a.m. And I had an severe contraction right as I walked into the triage and the nurse, and I'm screaming, I have to push. The push was like real. I had to push so bad. And she got me up. She had me like strip down my pants and she had me jump onto the table. I still have my big winter jacket on. I live in Toronto. It was like probably minus 20 out that night. But I got onto this bed and she checked and she's like, you are 8 centimeters dilated and your water is bulging. So I'm like, what does this mean? So, and I was in excruciating pain at this point still. So I heard her run to the phone and call somebody and say, get a room ready, blah, 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 blah. She was saying all kinds of stuff. I was in contraction mode. I couldn't care less what she was saying. And she had said to Sam, you need to help me push her into delivery. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like freaking out now. Now I'm like, okay, let's hold on. Like, I'm not ready. This is happening too soon. So me with no pants on, this is the funny part of this story. I had no pants on. She had thrown everything of all my belongings onto the bed with me, and Sam and this nurse started running down the hall with me. And I mean, mind you, it was 3 a.m., but there were many fathers in the hall, and I'm completely naked from the waist down. That was the most terrifying thing in my life. And she's like, whatever you do, don't push. I'm like, I'm really not worried. I had a longer shirt on, so I'm like trying to cover myself. And I obviously have a big belly, right? So this shirt is much stretchier. So picture the big belly and me trying to cover my bits. So we get into the room, they're talking to me, they're prepping everything, and the only thing I can remember is saying to the nurse is, I won't have time to have an epidural, right? And that's where I was really scared because I have an epidural with Lauren, and I remember it being very painful. So we get into the delivery room, and there had to have been like 5 or 6 people in there. I think it was based off of the fact that there really wasn't anything to do because With Lauren, there was just one nurse, and the doctor didn't even make it in to deliver her. They broke my water, and they said that my... Yeah.
That's not fair. And you almost a
little tiny zombie. Broke my water, and they did say that after they broke my water, the centimeters may go down, but once I broke my water, they said I was ready to push. So I can't believe she just did that. Then they told me I was ready to deliver. Now I got to the hospital. I remember texting my mom to hurry up, and that's so funny because I probably still have the text. It was at 3:02. And by the time I had Kane, it was 3:32. So it took me from the time they examined me, pushed me down the hall naked, and put me into the delivery room, and I delivered him. It was 30 minutes. So I think I pushed, so it was 3 contractions, and you do 3 pushes per. So it was 9 pushes. And that was pretty much it. Everything went really well with the labor. He cried right away when he came out. He had a really good cry. He had really dark hair. I will insert a couple of pictures from the delivery date. Like I said, he is now a month old. Everything went well. They weighed him, measured him, did all of his stuff, and then they gave him to me, and we did skin to skin, like that, all that normal stuff. My mom was almost literally 2 minutes late. By the time she walked in, they were still cleaning me up. Compared to Lauren's labor, which was around 18 hours long, and my water had broken, this was a nice... Oh, also, what I did not have is... I did not have the epidural. So what I didn't realize is how scared I was with the epidural, how scared I was to not have the epidural, is I didn't have any IVs, I didn't have anything, I wasn't hooked up to anything, I wasn't, prisoner of the bed for any length of time. It was great. I had the baby, I got up, I went to the washroom, I cleaned up myself after they were all done cleaning me up, and they moved me into our room where we stayed for the night, and we went home the following morning at, I think it was like 11 a.m. Sam got up early, went and got Lauren so she could meet the baby, and brought me McDonald's breakfast, which was so delicious. We then went home on Sunday at around 11 o'clock, and we've been home ever since, and it's been amazing. We love him, and he is the missing piece of our little family puzzle, and everything is going really well. Well, that's my labor and delivery story for you. Sorry it wasn't more exciting or fun. It was really a quick, fast delivery. Thanks for watching. Bye.